All right, we'll go ahead and call the Becker City Council meeting of January 21st to order. If everyone will join us for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has council had a chance to look over the meeting minutes from the prior meeting?
Yep.
If so, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Make a motion, we approve minutes from last meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion from Mike, second from Troy. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Any additional items for this evening's agenda? Hearing none, would somebody like to make a approval of the printed agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Becky. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Guests in open forum. Anyone for guests in open forum this evening? Seeing none, we'll move into committee reports. EDA.
EDA, I can take the first two here.
Perfect.
EDA was our first meeting in the year. We had mainly updates. And we talked a little bit about the comp plan update, kind of a little bit of the calendar there, but mainly just updates. And then budget and finance, we met 15th, so that was last week. And let's see, we had some discussion around the, we have an insurance revolving capital balance fund that we've, it's like our emergency fund for the city. Basically also covers insurance claims for the city. So we're talking about a policy, kind of having discussions about a policy as far as how high do you want that fund to go, and then if the funds go over that, where do you distribute those funds? What is a valid reason to pull money out of there, because it's an emergency fund, but define an emergency. Does that mean we all of a sudden just find we need money one day, or does it have to be a tornado or whatever? So we're having discussions around that right now. I would say probably spring, summerish. We'll see something come to council here. We got our workers' comp modifiers back, and basically I'm not a workers' comp expert by any means. So what we were given is anything below a 1.0 is good, and we were below. We were at a either a 0.96 or 0.97. I guess I have two numbers written down, but one was probably a last year. So, but we were favorable. So that's good there. The audit is set for the 30th of March through April 3rd. They're going to come to KDV this day. Are going to come to Budget and Finance on the 22nd of April to give kind of preliminary to Budget and Finance, and then they'll be presenting to us here at Council first week of May. And then we just had an update on the financial software that we purchased and have started to set up. As you probably have seen in the utility billing, we're starting with the utility billing first, and then so that should be hopefully wrapped up here by the end of January. That's starting to move right now, and so I think everybody got their notices that said that they were going to have new account numbers, things like that. And then like payroll and the rest of the finances will be moved over hopefully in February then. So by the time the snow is gone, let's just say, hopefully we'll be completely onto our new financial software there. That's all I got.
Fire relief.
We had that the other night, and the main thing we talked about, we were talking about calendars. They were all sent out in the mail. We talked about some numbers, and they have their yearly meeting tomorrow night. They wanted to thank everybody for the calendars. That was good this year. Other than that, they have their firemen's Christmas this Saturday. That was about it.
Any other meetings missed? I don't think so. Okay. Administrator and staff reports.
contract with Bolton and Mink for comprehensive plan update. Ms. Flipson.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So there was a selection committee that met back in December, so it would have been the Planning Commission members along with staff to review the RFPs that were submitted for the comp plan update, and then we did interview 4 consultant teams as well. That selection committee did recommend Bolton and Mink as the consultant for the project. So tonight, we do have the finalized, agreed-upon contract, at least between staff and the consultant here, recommending approval of that. There's a resolution 20-05 that would allow the mayor and city administrator to execute that agreement.
Any questions for Marie? None.
I'll make the motion. Approve Resolution 2005.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mike, second from Troy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Election judge appointments. Ms. Bleasy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you may have heard, it is election year again. So one of the first things that we need to do in an election year is appoint our election judges. So that is required to be done by council. So you have resolution 2006 before you to do that. I can take any questions or a motion for approval. And I should mention, this is just for the presidential nominating primary. We will be bringing a new resolution for the August primary as well as the general election.
That maybe this went for the whole.
No, this is just the presidential nominating primary.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 20-06.
Motion from Troy, second from Rick. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
Irrigation head upgrades. Mr. Kua.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we have in front of you a request for council action for the purchase of 60 new irrigation heads for Pebble Creek Golf Club, which would also yield an additional 20 free just because of the timing of the purchase through the manufacturer. As we develop our capital improvement plan for 2020 and years beyond, which this would be look to be funded out of, we're just kind of looking at our aging infrastructure for the golf course and some of the really vital components. Due to the costs of these commercial grade irrigation heads, we know that a one-time purchase to satisfy the golf course would be prohibitive. It'd be way too expensive. So just in the interest of taking care of our infrastructure, we've taken kind of a yearly approach of dedicating up to $25,000 a year for ongoing replacement of the irrigation heads. So working with Jason Scharfenkamp, our golf course superintendent, who's here tonight, if you have any real technical questions or want to get in the weeds on irrigation heads, that's why he's here. But we've identified that as kind of the best strategy with working with MTI to take care of damaged, aging, and the most problematic areas on the golf course. And do so to the timing of this January purchase. We were able to get one free for every 3 that we purchase, which yields a savings in this particular purchase of over $6,000. It is something that was offered last year at this time for the same value, and we would anticipate that would be available at this time going forward. So I would open it up to any questions if you guys have any.
I had questions before the meeting, just thanks to Jason for getting back to me with all those.
When did you find out about this? Because this didn't come to committee at all.
Jason, actually, since we did not have a meeting in December due to the timing with the holidays, it was something that was brought up after that as an identifying of this January promotion.
You should reach out to us. We shouldn't have surprises like this, I don't think.
My apologies, this purchase needs to be made in January to get that value, so I'll keep that in mind going forward.
1 for 3 is a pretty good deal, because they're quite spendy. They're a couple hundred ahead, aren't they?
I think it's 302.
Up to 300 now?
Yeah.
Agree about
I'm
that,
thinking
but
back in the 80s.
How long did we know these were bad? I mean,
Well-
we had
Oh,
to-
they,
it
no,
wasn't
they.
a shocker, right?
No,
Yeah.
no. In their defense, there's heads that haven't been working very well.
This was
Every year there's some.
also something we identified in the capital improvement planning when we did our site tour and things like that. So as far as allocating this portion of money for this activity, it's something that we have identified as a need in our yearly planning.
So this money is in the budget?
It's from the 2020 CIP that was planned.
Yeah, actually, I guess I don't have an issue with it. It's something that they could go ahead and do, I would think, that if it's already budgeted for.
Mike, is that your way of making a motion?
Yeah, I guess I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Second it.
Motion from Mike, second from Troy. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Consent agenda.
Mayor, City Council, 5 items on the consent agenda this evening. Items 1 through 3 are hiring and termination report forms from the Community Center, Police Department, and Pebble Creek Golf Club. Item number 4 is a farm lease agreement with Imholt Farms, and that's for crop year 2020. That is for the property adjacent to TJ Potter Trucking. And then item number 5 is a farm lease with Kyle Golly for crop years 2020 through 2025. That is the 63 acres that we recently purchased for our well field from the Olson Family Trust. So if you have questions, I can certainly try to answer those. Otherwise, a motion to adopt the January 21st consent agenda would be appreciated.
Make a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
I'll second. Motion from Rick, second from Becky. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Motion from Rick, second from Troy. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We adjourn 6:13 PM.